topics we see a lot, like Miranda mentioned, is trying to get like coverage reports or test reports out of test pipelines. And the reason this is a challenge sometimes with Dagger is because if your tests fail, then your pipeline fails. And so if you want to try to, get a file out of that, then you can't get past that failed step where the test is actually failing. And so we do have a cookbook section on basically showing how to do this with some of the different SDKs. So I'm going to show off how this works today. So it's more of like kind of a tips and tricks demo today. So what I've done is I've forked the Flask repo. Flask is a popular open source Python project for building web apps. So over here I've got my forked repo. Hopefully you can see my terminal now. And then I've created within this a Dagger directory, and that has my module for testing this application. So if we look at this pipeline real quick, so first I've got just a regular function here that runs PyTest. So I input directory, which is my project, and it's going to use Python 3.12. It's going to mount my project in that container, install PyTest in my module, and then run PyTest. So when we run this, I can say Dagger call test with the current directory. We'll see this run, and here's my test output, and so everything passed and it's all good. And so again, if we want to then take this and get for example a JUnit XML out of this pipeline, then we can make one change to this test function. So again, we're using the same base and doing all the same steps, except this time we're passing to PyTest this flag JUnit XML to say I want to get this test report in this file named JUnit.xml. And so that's the only change. We've added this flag, and then now instead of just returning a container, we're returning a file, which is that coverage report, or not the coverage report, but the JUnit report. And here's that file. So just going through this really quickly. Test 2. So yeah, perfect. So now instead of saying before we said Dagger call tests, I'm going to Dagger download test 2. Since it's returning a file, I want to download that file to my machine, and we're going to pass in our directory once again. And so now this passed, and if I look at my files here, I now have a JUnit XML, and if I look at that, yeah, it's definitely XML. Cool. So now again, back to this challenge that we talked about is if my tests fail, I'm not actually going to get to download that file, because again, if we look at our pipeline here, we can just remove this and look at that pipeline. So the point where we're getting our file back out of this is in this last step here where we return that file. But again, if this PyTest fails, so my actual test pipeline fails, then we're going to exit right here instead of right here. So we're not going to be able to get that file out. So following our instructions in this little cookbook section, and I'll just show it in my code right here. So now again, we've added a few extra things to this PyTest line, and this time we're actually going to return a directory instead of a file, and I'll explain why in a second here. So we've got that PyTest JUnit XML, but this time instead of just running this, we're actually going to run a second command here and just get the exit code of our first command and store that in a file. So the cool thing about this is this second part always passes, right? So no matter what, I know that this is going to return a successful exit code, and it's going to store the exit code of this part into a file. So now whether my tests pass or fail, if I have exit code 1 or 0, that's going to be in this file now, and so I can continue to the next step. And so my next step here is I'm going to now return that JUnit XML and then also my Xcode file, right? So I can say, give me both of those files. And so it might look a bit hacky, but if we look at our output here, okay, so we've removed our files, and we're going to do test 3. And so now it exported again. And we can see we have that JUnit XML, and once again we have that Xcode file. So if I look at that, it's a 0. So one way you might want to do this in CI, for example, where you have kind of maybe a GitHub Actions or a Jenkins workflow wrapping your Dagger executions, and you want to still perform some logic whether those or based on the success or failure of those tests. Let's remove those real quick, and then let's go. So now I've modified my command a bit, so I'm running the same Dagger download my functions test3 in the directory, and then this time, once that completes, I'm just going to return the contents of that Xcode. So now in my test pipeline, if my tests pass or fail, you can just look at, oh, and I'm using a different shell here, so it doesn't like that. Is it? No? Okay. Anyway, we won't try and debug that right now, but the point is, yeah, if I was cooler and using bash, I could look at that like this. Anyway, in your CI, you can do this, and so your CI step, if the tests fail, will fail on this. And then if you have some other process to like upload that JUnit XML artifact or something, that can happen no matter what in from your CI runner. Of course, all that we could do with the Dagger module within here too. I just didn't show that today, but we could, within our pipeline here, we could also have, well, first of all, a module to kind of abstract this away of actually setting up our Python project and running PyTest, and then abstract away this part. So if we have a PyTest module, it could run the test automatically this way for you. But then we could also, from this point, upload that to our wherever we upload our test reports to as well. So yeah, that's basically it. I just really wanted to show off this section of the cookbook, and if it hasn't been linked in Discord, I can link it as soon as I switch back over there.